Good morning, everyone. Today, we delve into the extraordinary life of a man whose name is synonymous with genius, yet whose journey was marked by immense struggle and solitude. We're going to explore Vincent van Gogh, a painter who became a star, and how he turned his deepest pain into the world's brightest light. Let's begin with a stark contrast. Today, Vincent van Gogh is a global icon. His paintings regularly fetch over $100 million at auction, with one recently selling for an astonishing $117 million. The Van Gogh Museum alone attracts over 2 million visitors annually. But during his lifetime, he was, in his own words, a burden. He sold only one painting, The Red Vineyard, for a mere 400 francs. Imagine, the man we now hail as a genius, saw himself as a failure. Vincent was truly a late bloomer. By age 27, he had already failed in multiple careers as an art dealer, a school teacher twice, a bookseller, and even as a preacher in the Borinage coal mining district. It was only then, at 27, a dangerously late start for any artist, that he picked up a brush. Without formal education, he attacked art with what he called the sheer force of passion, driven by a desperate need to redeem his previous failures. His early years were incredibly dark, both in his life and on his canvas. The meager allowance from his devoted brother, Theo, was barely enough for basic art materials. The physical toll was immense. He often replaced meals with coffee and dry bread, suffering from lost teeth and severe stomach ailments. There are even accounts of him squeezing paint tubes directly into his mouth, perhaps seeking sustenance or merely the taste of his passion. Unable to afford models, he often painted his own worn-out shoes, a poignant symbol of his hardship. In 1888, seeking to escape the grey gloom of Paris, Vincent made a pivotal move to the south of France, to Arles. Here, under the blazing Provençal sun, he discovered the vibrant color that would define his legacy: yellow. It was also in Arles that he dreamt of creating a studio of the South, a utopian community where artists could live and work together, fostering a new artistic movement. Tragically, this dream was shattered. Paul Gauguin was the only artist to answer Vincent's call, but the two geniuses were incompatible. Their nights were filled with arguments, a clash of personalities and artistic philosophies. The tension culminated on December 23, 1888. After a final argument where Gauguin threatened to leave, Vincent's fragile reality shattered. In a moment of extreme distress, he severed his own left ear. The villagers of Arles, already wary of his eccentricities, branded him the red-headed madman, and petitioned for his expulsion. Following this incident, Vincent voluntarily committed himself to an asylum in Saint-Rémy. For many, an asylum is a prison, but for Vincent, it became a workshop. He painted relentlessly to keep his inner demons at bay. During lucid intervals between his seizures, he painted with mechanical fury, sometimes finishing a canvas a day. He famously declared, "If I don't paint, I will go mad." From this period came some of his most iconic works, including The Starry Night, a true landscape of the mind. Look closely at the elements: the cypress tree, a traditional symbol of mourning and death, bridging the earth and the sky. The turbulent, swirling sky, mathematically similar to fluid dynamics, represents his chaotic mental state and desperate longing. And the village, painted from memory of his Dutch childhood, not observation, reveals an internal landscape, a longing for home and stability. While he poured his soul onto canvas, the world remained profoundly indifferent. Despite producing over 2,000 artworks in just a decade, The Red Vineyard remains the only documented sale during his lifetime. Yet, Vincent possessed a profound self-awareness of his eventual legacy. In a letter to Theo, he wrote, "Someday, people will see that my pictures are worth more than the price of the paint and my subsistence." His final act came in July of 1890, in Auvers-sur-Oise. Vincent walked into the golden wheat fields where he often painted, a scene that would become the subject of one of his last works. As crows took flight, he shot himself in the chest. He died 2 days later, at the age of 37, leaving behind the haunting words, "The sadness will last forever." But Vincent did not walk this arduous road alone. His brother, Theo, was his unwavering financier, his closest confidant, and his only true believer. Without Theo's relentless support, both financial and emotional, the world would never have known Vincent van Gogh. It was through their more than 600 letters that Vincent's powerful voice and his profound heart were preserved for history. So, was Vincent's life a failure? Absolutely not. He transmuted his immense suffering into vibrant color. His madness became a source of unparalleled energy, his poverty, a wellspring of creative nobility. He wanted nothing more than to comfort the world with the very art that, paradoxically, couldn't save him. Vincent van Gogh once said, "I want to touch people with my art. I want them to say, he feels deeply, he feels tenderly." In our own deepest darkness, let us remember the painter who, through his perseverance and passion, created the brightest stars, touching humanity with a tenderness that endures beyond time.